What is up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Today on Pineapple's Garage, we're going to talk about something that is a little bit controversial, a little bit outdated, and some of you are probably going to think it's a little bit clickbaity. But I'm going to go over today my Ruroc Atlas 2.0 long-term review, right? This is 2 years, 2 riding seasons, lots of ride time in on it. I'm going to tell you guys what I think. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, I am not paid for it. I paid for this out of my own pocket. I did it based off of reviewers on YouTube's, basically reviews of the Atlas 2.0 at the time that it first came out. So we're going to get into it right after this, but be sure to check out tacticalpineapple.com for updates on the channel, updates on my other channels, stuff like that. You don't want to miss it. So without further ado, all right, so first off, I would like to apologize. I am not 100% yet. If you follow me on my other channels, you know I kind of got sick. It's been a rough couple. At this point, it's been over a week. So, apologize for the lack of content over here, but we're going to make up for that in short order. So, obviously, the Ruroc Atlas 2.0. For those of you who have been following motovloggers on YouTube, I'm pretty sure most of you actually have heard of it before. I'm pretty sure most of you know why it's kind of controversial. So, Ruroc, first of all, let's talk about them. They are a company based in the UK. I know, minus 2 points automatically. Sorry, I'm American. Yes, I said American. That's just the way it is. You automatically get minus 2 points on it. But they've been traditionally in the snowboarding market, got into motocross, and then obviously from motocross transferred over into motorcycle helmets. Now, as you can probably tell by this, it is very much based on aesthetics. The look, the view of the helmet, everything is phenomenal, right? Typically, if you go based off of how something looks, you're going to be disappointed about how it performs. That's just kind of a piece of reality. Most people fail to realize it or talk about that when they get into these reviews. So, yes, the appearance of the helmet was a big consideration in how I bought or why I bought it. That being said, it's a safe helmet, right? So it's an ECE. What is this one? This one was a DOT and a ECE R22-5. So DOT is kind of like honor system. Doesn't really matter. It has to be DOT to be able to be sold in America, but it's a bullshit fucking spec. So the ESE it actually matters. So why does it matter? It matters because it actually has to be tested. It actually has to meet a certain standard. So it is a safe helmet. It's not just a piece of trash. Now, that being said, I believe when I paid for this helmet, I bought it using Blockhead's coupon code, so I think you got like 10% off or something like that, and it was still well over $500 with shipping. Now, I've paid prior to that $200 for a helmet, so this is definitely the most expensive helmet that I had ever purchased, but that goes another direction too that I want to talk about in a little bit. So when I got the helmet, it did take a little bit to get it. It wasn't the worst thing in the world because I purchased it early on in the 2.0 release. I live in Wisconsin. We have shitty fucking weather right up until about May. So getting out and riding was very difficult, to say the least. So it was what it was. I didn't get it in time for the very first ride of the season, but I had it shortly thereafter. So I wasn't complaining about it. Like I said, the shipping was coming from the UK. Now, when I did the unboxing, which I obviously didn't do on video because this was 2 years ago and I wasn't really even into making YouTube channels at the time. When I started unboxing this, I quickly learned of my disappointment. So Ruroc, apparently, when they send these out to their reviewers, they send a bunch of extra stuff along with it for them specifically. So obviously, I knew I wasn't going to get a colored visor like Chase on Two Wheels does every single fucking time. I knew I wasn't going to get that. But there was one thing everybody was saying that it comes with, that they were like, oh, it's kind of cool. It comes with this. It comes with this. It comes with this. Well, it didn't. And it was the pin lock system. And why does that matter? The Ruroc pin lock is not universal. The Ruroc pin lock is custom to the Ruroc helmet, and the only place that you can buy the Ruroc pin lock is from Ruroc. I know we're going to continue to say Ruroc. The fact of the matter is that's not necessarily a problem. So I'll go to Ruroc and I'll buy it, right? Well, the company in and of itself is working on shipping options according to Archie, and that's another story we'll go into later. But the only option for shipping that pin lock from the UK to America costs $25. I don't know, was it? I think it was even $40 at the time. So it was, regardless, we'll say $25. The pin lock itself costs $25. So essentially, in order to ship the product, I would have to pay for two of the product. Now, I'm not a huge fan of that idea. I don't agree with it. I think it sucks, and I think there should be another shipping option for something that literally can be put in postal mail and sent for $7 fucking. I know. I've ran a business. I've shipped things overseas. It's not that fucking expensive. I understand if you have a shipping contract or a shipping partner, that's fine. But for little things like that, you can definitely venture out of the contract. Otherwise, you have a really strict contract and you need to reevaluate that as quickly as possible. Now, I've complained about that in many places, social media, under people's videos, specifically when it came to other individuals who were honest about the fact that they don't think the pin lock comes with it, and then they confirmed it and said, no, the pin lock doesn't come with it. I didn't see those videos before I bought it, but I digress. I complained about it on there. And true to form, Ruroc is very responsive on social media. Now, I would say probably 3 or 4 comments like that on reviewers' videos, and before long, Archie from Ruroc actually reached out to me and said, hey, well, I understand the situation. He explained their shipping partner stuff, and and after a lengthy conversation, basically through email, he said, what I want to do is I want to extend an opportunity of free shipping to you. You go ahead, purchase it, put this coupon code in, and we'll get you the shipping for free. And I never bought it. And I want to explain why. So even though I did go through that with Archie and I did find all that stuff, one of my comments back to him was, I don't feel like it's an actual solution to my issue. The promotion that was done by these people was that the pin lock was a part of it. Now, I know I should have read the shipping and what actually came with it. The pin lock wasn't included, but whatever. I went based off what the reviewers said. I have no issue with that. Whatever. My bad. Fuck it. But the solution itself wasn't kosher with me, simply because at the end of the day, it wasn't an offer that was extended to every single individual who had been misled about the pin lock. So I refused to take it. I refused to take that offer. Now, whatever. So that's the customer service to me was always good. I've heard bad things. There's other people out there who have been banned from their social medias, whatever. I don't know the whole situation. I'm not going to comment on it any further than that. But from what I've experienced, they've been really good. Now, another experience that I've had with their customer service was last riding season. At the beginning of the season, I pulled the helmet out. I was going through, I was cleaning everything up, doing safety checks on everything, and one thing that I noticed was the microphone for my Shockwave system, which I did purchase, actually had come completely free of the wire. Now, I did not really use the Shockwave system the first year because of reasons that I'll go into, but what ended up, I found that the microphone had been completely removed. Regardless of how it happened, when it happened, whatever, I was like, shit. So I reached out to Ruroc through their customer service hotline on their website and said, hey, I don't know what I got to do. I don't really feel like I should have to buy an entire Shockwave system. Do you have an option for me to buy the new microphone and basically the earphone setup? To which they responded, well, we see your information here. How about this? I'm just going to send you one out. So phenomenal. They backed the product, right? I appreciate them backing the product. I don't know when it happened. For all I know, I ripped the microphone off of it. It was complete negligence. They didn't really ask any questions. They sent it out. Now, what I did learn was they actually upgraded the Shockwave for the Atlas 2.0 after the 2.0 had been released by upgrading the earpieces. Essentially the audio system interface basically worked really well, but it was really quiet, which was one of the things that I kind of had against it. Didn't want to use it, couldn't really hear it. Wasn't super quality audio, anything like that, so I just didn't use it. And with the upgraded ones, one of the things that I saw in it literally said, hey, you should upgrade the firmware as well for the Shockwave. And like thinking about it, okay, that makes sense. They've upgraded the headphones, they've upgraded the firmware, and lo and behold, everything sounded a lot better. It was louder, the audio was much more crisp, it seemed like they had better drivers in there. So I began using the Shockwave a little bit more. Now, the Shockwave in and of itself, I did a review on one of my other channels. I do like this system. I like the system for what I'm using it for now. Believe it or not, I use the Shockwave audio for my moto vlogs, and that's pretty much it. I don't use it for phone calls because the buttons fucking suck. Now, I know this is the Atlas 2.0. They've made larger buttons. If you can see, these buttons are super tiny, they're super flat, and to manipulate them when they are on the backside of your helmet, going down the road is almost impossible. So they are really pointless. You can't answer calls, you can't adjust the volume. Turning it on or off is something you can only do before you get on the motorcycle, essentially. So that being said, that's why I use this specifically for my motovlog setup. It's got a high quality USB mic or Bluetooth microphone. I can hear if there's any issues or anything like that because I'm running a feedback, and I use an app specifically to record the audio as well as hear my voice back in my head, so that way I can actually record a decent quality motovlog through this system. Now, is it the most high quality system out there? No. Is it the most high quality system for the price out there? Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, if I were to buy a new Atlas, I probably wouldn't buy the Shockwave system. It's just, I know they made updates, and maybe I'd be pleasantly surprised. I just don't see a big use out of it. I know that there's some talk about this Connect app and whether they can connect to the Cardos and the Pack Talks and stuff like that. Now, I don't know the Sennas. I don't know if they can. But to me, I ride alone 90% of the time anyways. That's not necessarily a huge deal. But this in and of itself is not a good system for being able to accept a phone call or anything like that, which was part of the big deal of why I paid for the system in the first place. So that being said, that kind of concludes my review of the Shockwave system. So next up, I would like to actually go over the helmet quality. I've not had an issue with the quality. The cheek pads, I know they are not the most high quality premium materials, and a lot of people complain about that. For the price point of the helmet, they say that they should be great. Now, I'm going to say they say that a lot because this is my first entry into a full face helmet, and that matters greatly. Why does it matter so great? A lot of the problems that people have with the Ruroc system are that it's an extremely loud helmet. Number one, it is also an extremely light helmet. This is not heavy at all. I'm literally manipulating this with 2 fingers. It's super light. I think it's like 3 pounds. I've got no complaints against the weight of the helmet itself. But I actually believe it's lighter weight than this, which is a helmet that I had and owned prior to the Ruroc system. Why does that matter, the half helmet? Because I came from a half helmet to a full face helmet. So, as noisy as this is, it is extremely quiet in comparison to a half helmet. Especially because I don't wear earplugs. I know. I probably should wear earplugs to protect your ears. You only got 2 of them. If you got a good helmet, do you really need to wear earplugs? Now, I've always been a fan of the road noise. The air has never bugged me. The wind never bugged me, anything like that. So I never really wore earplugs. And, maybe I'm stupid for that. But even with the half helmet, I didn't wear them. So the Ruroc is extremely quiet in comparison to that. Now, compared to a Shoei RF 1400, I wouldn't have a fucking clue. I don't wear a Shoei helmet. I've never worn an Arai helmet. I've never worn these high-end helmets to know the difference. So there's that. So I'm biased in the fact that I have no high-end helmet experience, and maybe that makes me more happy with this helmet. I liked the fit. I followed the fitment, on the website. It seemed to work well. I heard with the 3.0 there was a big issue with poor quality cheek pads that were poorly manufactured, and part of why this video again is controversial is because the 3.0 kind of shit the bed on manufacturing quality once they released. They released late. There was a whole bunch of issues. People had waited really long for their helmets, and then they didn't fit properly because the pads were shit. And then once they finally actually said, yeah, well, we know the pads were kind of garbage, there was a quality issue. Here's the solution. These are the good pads that we actually meant to release with the helmet, but we didn't. So for another $100, we'll sell you the right pads that were supposed to be with the helmet in the first place. Yes, that sucks. I didn't agree with that. I think it was a shitty move. I think anybody who had purchased a 3.0 helmet should have received the premium cheek pad upgrade for free, no cost, once they solved the issue. I digress. I'm not the business manager. I can't actually say much more about it because, again, like I said, I own a 2.0. The padding is relatively good. Now, do I see myself anytime soon upgrading to the new 4.0? I'm excited. I think it's got a lot of upgrades. The ability to close the vents, I think, would be kind of unique. I live in Wisconsin. There's not a whole lot of reason to close the vents other than motovlogs, right? Which, if you can make the helmet quieter for motovlogs, get rid of the little bit of wind noise I do have, hey, I'd be even happier with that. A lot of people are saying it is a lot quieter of a helmet. The pads fit better. The helmet fits more comfortably. I would love to see that. But at the same time, I'm 2 years into owning this $500 investment of a helmet over these helmets that I'd replace every 2 or 3 years just because they were only $120. Yes, and I know this is a Harley brand helmet, whatever, blah, blah, blah. It was a DOT helmet. It's literally just stamped DOT. Doesn't mean anything, but they're basically just glorified Bell helmets. I enjoy the helmet. I'm okay with the helmet the way it is. Will I upgrade? Maybe. Anytime soon? Absolutely not. I don't see how somebody can justify spending $500 to $700 every year on upgrading their helmet. I ride a lot, but I still don't see that much return on investment on a helmet that's got a 4 to 7 year shelf life. Maybe in 4 years I'll consider replacing it, which would be in another 2 years. So at that point, the way they're releasing these, it'd be an Atlas 6.0 helmet. Who knows what the fuck they're going to come with. They probably have smart screens and all that stupid shit. But for the purposes of this review, to keep it a little bit shorter, I've got probably 75,000 miles with this helmet. I have been perfectly happy with it for the majority of that. I did have other full-face helmets in the past, specifically for snowmobiles, and I've absolutely hated them. I was really nervous to get into another full-face helmet just because I didn't like the full wind control, the buffeting, and everything like that. But turns out I just had shitty full-face helmets back when I was on snowmobiles. But I do enjoy this helmet. Would I recommend it to somebody else? Yeah, I would. Would I recommend the 3.0 to somebody else? I would say I don't have the experience based on the quality of product that came out. I probably wouldn't, but now seeing the 4.0 and seeing some of these reviews coming out and people talking about it, pending manufacturing issues that they may have or anything like that I'll keep an eye on, I would probably recommend the 4.0. I definitely wouldn't recommend the Shockwave system though. Sorry. It's a great idea to utilize space that already exists within the helmet to put that comm system on. But in my personal opinion, it's a poor design as far as buttons are concerned. Like I said, they did upgrade it a little bit. The buttons are a little bigger. I guess they're a little easier to possibly hit, but you're still reaching up to the back side of your head to try and remember, okay, do I push the right one or do I push the left one? And if I hold this one, is it going to disconnect me or this or that? Or it's just a fucking mess as far as buttons are concerned on the back of the helmet. Horrible, horrible idea. That said, I do have a smartwatch. I could actually, answer my phone via my smartwatch, but then again, I'm taking my eyes off the road. I'm looking at a watch. I'm trying to hit a button. It sucks. It's a shitty situation. Nobody wants to be involved in that. So most of the time anyways, I just throw my phone in the bag and forget about it. It is what it is. So if you want to get a hold of me on the road, you're going to have to wait until I stop and take a look at it. Just kind of is what it is. So riding is my time unless I'm doing a moto vlog, and then I don't want to be interrupted. So again, fuck it. Catch me when I catch you. Ruroc Atlas 2.0. 2 years in, 70,000 miles, 75,000 miles. I'm happy with it. I've got no complaints about it. I'm not upgrading anytime soon. Like I said, Shockwave system is a fail as far as I'm concerned. I wouldn't have paid the $180. Knowing now what I know, or knowing then what I know now, I wouldn't have paid for it. So, like I said, they did upgrade the stuff for free. Customer service was good for me. Everybody has their own experiences. Owner of the company seemed decent to talk to, Archie. I know there's a couple other people who've talked to him. I don't know if he's owner of the company, social media guy, whatever. It was good experience as far as I'm concerned. Other people are going to have different experiences. You're going to see it all over. There's people who are going to talk crap about it. People are going to say whatever they want to say about it. That's cool. It catches a lot of hate. In my personal opinion, coming from a half helmet, it's perfectly fine. Maybe coming from a $1,200 fucking Shoei, it's not, but it's a $500 helmet. I got $500 worth of use out of it. I'm still not going to upgrade it until I get another $500 worth of use out of it, because god damn it, the next one is going to cost even more based on what I'm seeing. So I'm sorry this got long-winded. I'm sorry I was probably hard to listen to because my audio based on my sickness has been absolute garbage, but I appreciate you guys stopping by the channel. This has been my review of the Atlas 2.0 long-term review, and I will catch you guys the next time I'm fucking rolling. Peace.